while I'm sad. You've been out all night, know you've been bad. Don't tell me different, know it's a lie. Come to me, honey, see how I cry.
Welcome to the Recovery Show with Bernie Z. That's me. Today we're going to talk about step 6 from the addict side. We're entirely ready to have these defects of character removed. And that's a big step. Because a lot of times who we are is defined by the things that we live. We have to be ready to make changes. What that means is being willing to say, yeah, I have a problem with gambling. Yes, I have a problem with hiding the addiction. I have a problem with my interactions with others. I have all these different things that happen in life. The character defects are something that are very hard to remove because they're part of who you are. When you're born, if a person's born with brown eyes, like Zeitler himself, and wants to change their eye color as they get older, they can get contact lenses to change that. But the problem is that that's not really removing a defect. That's changing appearance. For me, I have a vision problem, so in order to remove the defect of not being able to see properly, I have trifocals. One for distance, one for mid-range, and one for reading. And changing those defects or being willing to have those defects removed is an adjustment, just like the glasses are adjustment, because you have 3 different lenses within one frame. That's the way it is with a person. The person's got a defect. They're working on trying to change it. Mine happen to be scratch-off tickets and the things that it caused for destruction in my life. That's one of my defects. One of the other defects is that I like to feel like I'm of value, and sometimes I get a bit out of hand. I'm no more important than any other person that's got an addiction, and that's something that's really hard sometimes. You want to be something special, and that's part of the addiction too, is you want to be somewhere where you feel that you're the important piece to the puzzle, but really you're part of the puzzle, but you're not necessarily the only part of the puzzle. You're not the only part of the puzzle. You have family members, you have spouses, you have girlfriends, you have children, you have aunts, uncles, cousins, all these people that are part of that puzzle, that unless you're willing to remove the defect of thinking that you're so important that the others aren't, that they have to be there for you instead of you being there for them, it becomes very difficult. So to unite and build upon the things that are good within you, the things that are like wanting to help others, wanting to be a part of a bigger step, a bigger part of the world without being the center of attention. So when we're talking about those defects, it's real hard. But to be willing to have those defects removed is something that's very important. The defects of character. And remember that over time, you're not going to have an awareness of all of those defects. Those defects, over time, you're going to learn about the defects. For me, my first defect was that I gambled to avoid problems instead of facing them head on. So I had to learn to build in my character to face problems and not to try to fix them by gambling. Then there's the defect of my being overweight, and that means I have to change my diet. So there's things you do to change or to help remove those character defects, but they're not going to be gone for good until you're ready to admit that you have them and admit that you're ready to work on them. And it may include having people help you. So don't be afraid to allow somebody to say, hey, I see this going on in you. Are you willing to change it? Don't be afraid to say, yeah, I'm willing to work on it. Be aware that sometimes something's going to be pointed out that is referred to as a character defect that may not be a character defect. It may be a defect of thought process, which is basically the idea of when you're gambling, your thought is, I can do great things to help somebody. That's why I'm gambling. But as you go on, it's not even about that. It's not about the money. It's not about any of that. And addiction is the same way. It's not about the substance. It's the escape. And the escape is from those defects. And it creates a bigger problem, which is a bigger defect. So today I encourage people to really take a look at the defects the defects of your character in life, and to be willing to have them removed, and work on removing them. Thank you. Have a good day.